overwhelmed in spawn, looking everywhere but at his opponents, and the MAC-10 start to farm the armorless players. That's exactly what Heroic wanted in this round, and there might be more where that came from. Christo in the corner. Goodbye. Nico's got that, and a free gun dropped as well. Looking like an 8th round for Heroic's T-side. MSL saving a gun, but that's all they get away with. And the armor on Cajun. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, it's okay, but it is still an 8-round T-side for Heroic, and that is, if you aren't aware, very, very good on the map of Train. Heroic are going to be more than happy with this scoreline for him. That grenade should kill Cajun, and it will. Excellent work. That's insulting.
One thing I will say that I absolutely love about North is that the kind of like insight they're willing to give us into their facility is great, man. They got cameras set up so we can see the players. Their interview zone looks sick. I do think that, you know, with everything kind of having to move online, it's been a great time for orgs to show exactly what they can bring to the table, to kind of spice things up for folks at home. It's been great. North have really answered the call there, so shout out those guys. Whoever's making the decisions, doing a pretty good job, I think it's fair to say.
You're not wrong there, Harry. I always appreciate the interviews and the content we get from the players as well. Get a bit more insight. This one, though, it's a fast B play. Heroic don't realize Gade is in the site, and he's here to stay. 2 kills off of the spray. Katie turns around to the smoke and does drop the pop flank. This time, Heroic expecting it. It's been a long time since he's in a hit, and Nico is in a powerful position. He's dropped MSL with the AWP, and he's ready for another. Nico on a double, eventually put down by Gade at the back of the site on his 3rd. Low HP, though, relying on Christo on a late flank that Heroic are probably not prepared for. Katie with a flick. He was just throwing a smoke towards a connector, and he 180s for that kill, leaving Gade alone in a clutch. At this point, Cadian is already out of the site. He is already running A, or faking it rather, and Gade is here. Heroic don't know it. He's walking with his back turned into his enemies, and he will get the kill, but now Gade rotates outer, and Cadian, committing back to B, has to go A, but that's exactly where Gade is going. This is such a mess. This is such a mockery of a round. Cadian will get the bomb plant in. Gade on 10. Where does he go?
Cade's got to ace this if he wants to pick it up. And this is where Cadian being on the AWP maybe isn't ideal for Heroic. He's able to take a nice long angle, but Gade is dead in one shot to whatever. And that's why Cadian, using his little pea shooter over here in main, let's see what he's able to do with it. Gade needs the ace in what was a 1v2 now, if he wants to pick this round up. Molly down, and that's going to force Cadian back, but he actually gets up on top of the train, swings on out, fires off a shot. Gade now knows, but so much time is ticked off of this bomb. The Gade cannot win the round, no matter how hard he tries.
Oh dear.
Cadian's not going to find him running away, so Gade is going to live to fight another day. But it's still a round for Heroic in spite of Gade's best effort. 4 kills in the round, and it's not enough.
That's the second time we've had that for North, right? Like, the individuals just aren't enough, apparently. AZ gets 4 on B, he loses the 1-on-1. Gade gets 4 on B, he loses the 1-on-1. Like, you know, something that was said on the desk coming into this game was the fact that, you know, if you have a stand-in like North do, you need everyone to be performing. You need all 4 of your old guard to be a tip-top shape, because this is what happens if not. Christo is 1 in 10, and Heroic are just rolling over North with no issue. Not that North, like, individually aren't even showing up, right? We're seeing these sick rounds, but, you know, that's the only positive signs, right? When a player goes and gets 4 kills, and in both times that's happened, North haven't closed the round. We need everyone stepping up. We need everyone having kills and impact into these rounds here from Heroic. And boy, are they putting some on the board. 9-3 on this T side with no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? For Heroic, these games where everyone's very, very tight within the scoreboard is very, very common. And I like that. You know, I think that's a good look from Heroic, because it just shows that everyone's kind of putting an equal weighting, you know. You can trust any player in kind of any situation is how it's feeling. And, you know, like, you look at the kill distribution, well, it's +2 from the bottom to the top, whereas over on North, it's a difference of 10. So, yeah, you know, a real emphasis on individuals. I say 10, it's now 9, thanks to Christo getting his second kill in this round.
Harry. Whoa, you're giving us misleading information, false facts.
But, you know, I think Christo, it does make sense that he's going to be the kind of bottom fragger within this squad. Obviously, having to adjust, having to pick up some of the Kirby spots, and Not to mention, I do think Train is probably one of the harder maps to just slot a man into.
Especially on the CT side with all the moving parts, all the constant adjusting, and, you know, are we playing for Ivy? Are we double pop? How many B? The need that you feel at times to take control, but the risk that comes with it. North not wanting to give away kills. MSL armorless and close towards main. He smoked off one side, but Molly's landed a sandwich and pushed him out into the open. Luckily, not punished for it. Heroic spam does just elude MSL's position, and he can go back into it after the Molly is faded. Cajun kills down, coming through the Ivy smoke, and now a 3-on-3 here as North sit inside of A. Cajun moving very aggressively, and Testas is not ready for such a pushed-up player. These close positions for North are providing kills and leaving Cadian alone in a clutch, a 1-on-3 with no time to do it. They're going to push him down as well. Cadian, oh, he's missed a shot, and with a jiggle, you can't afford to miss those. Otherwise, North are going to overwhelm you and get a free AWP. Now there's 2 of them. And we know what these AWPs have done for North. They actually put those initial 3 rounds on the board in this CT side. So finding a 4th, getting it done with some aggressive setups. That's a nice round for North. Heroic finally broken. It's happened, Harry. They said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, it really felt like it couldn't for the longest time, right? That very early 6-0 lead did some wonderful things to the Heroic bank account, but finally we see them bottomed out, and it will just be pistols now into round number 14 with the goal of buying into the last of the half. That's pretty much locked in. Christo besting Testas early on. And now the B plate for the rest of Heroic. AZ, he's about to do something a little bit gross, so let's keep our eye on him. That's the bomb drop there, so even as they get the site, this is pretty heartbreaking for Heroic. If you ever wanted to watch some Danes just looking very upset, this is the round, because you get into B, you get the kills, but you lose the bomb as you execute in, and all you were really hoping for in that round there was a bomb plant. So yeah, not ideal. But a 5th on the board for North. They're starting to stumble back to their feet. And it does, you know, it does kind of feel like if they like 6-9 this half, I think that's still recoverable. I feel like T side, you know, you've got a bit more room. I think that, you know, you can kind of better utilize someone like Christo moving into the T half, right? If needed, you can just have him on a lurk, playing over on his own. I think that's maybe where he could be the most comfortable.
Look at how much of a difference that $800 bomb money would have made for Heroic, right? We got players with no U2, we got no AWP in the last round of the half, and MSL, he is looking to take these players away. He's done that in a big way. 2 kills off of 1 shot. MSL posts back up and he just waits, because Heroic, this round's done. It's looking like a 6-9 end of half, and MSL will make it so. He will put the nails in the coffin one by one. Just 1 left. It's Nico out towards B. To come down the ramp. Gade is still here. Nico has his knife out. Luckily, smoke will give away the fact that Gade is not left, and Nico hits the best timing possible. It's still not going to be enough to win this round, but he might be able to grab himself 1 kill with it. Even then, missing Gade as he falls back towards Khan. Nico sprays, does get the kill, but yeah, I mean, now the alarm bell has been rung. North can set up for this exact contingency, and they've got the bomb as well. So it's looking like 6, Harry. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, the bad news bear, as I think they're known. And in this round, Nico does get dropped. It's the end of the half with North recovering 6 rounds at the very end in the battle for Denmark, I think is what we could call this. Maybe not. Maybe we do. You're going to have to join us after a quick break as this second half will continue.
When I'm up and down, what can I do to change your mind? You know I'll always be around. Don't give it up, don't let it go. You got to know it's all mine. Don't give it up, don't let it go. You got to know it's all mine. When I get home early, you never have a word to say, so I have to break this down. You say that I'm a fool now, and you're never gonna leave me. You sound just like your mother. And
Well, that first half really heated up. MSL did put his spin on it at the end of things, finding 6 for North on the CT side. It doesn't feel like enough, but a pistol round could certainly solidify things as North look to take it here with a lot of utility in this second half. Heroic no kit for the retake, but they do have Borup on a smoke. He's dropped a CZ for Cadian, so a bit of a raid boss situation here for Heroic, and they're going to be bringing the heat towards B. Cadian loses his life. There's a quick trade from Nico in upper, and he is here to stay. 2 kills, 3 from Nico, all headshots, and he can just fall back into the B bomb site with no worry. Tesses has pushed pop. Christo can't go anywhere. Harry, you thought the bad times would be over after the first half of Christo? Well, they have just begun.
Yeah, now it all falls onto Cajun B, and well, there we go. That's pretty much it, isn't it? We kind of nailed that one. Down, able to secure it, and a pistol round found for Heroic, as though they needed anything else going their way. Look at this from Nico as well.
So clean.
Absolutely shuts it down. AZ, Gade, and MSL. They run round, they try and get the better of him, but not today. Nico leading the charge here for Heroic and continuing to look good.
And boy, does Tessa set a precedent in round 1 of this half that he's going to be a real pop dog pusher all game long, right? Coming up the pop in the pistol, getting in the back line and dropping the bomb like that. I mean, we're going to see a fair few attempts of that from Heroic, I can imagine. Maybe even in this round, because North full Glocks towards B, Borup in the pop with an SMG, and a double inner setup. Heroic are at least poised for this. They've cleared Ivy. Cadian pushed all the way down and saw T-Sports. They know this is coming, and Nico's going to have no problem spraying it down. 4 kills delivered on a platter. It's Heroic up to 11. North do have that buy, though. That's what we've been waiting for. Get it done, out of the way, no bomb plant. No worry. North have at least enough to get a full buy-in.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it though. It's not going to have the AWP on MSL. But luckily enough, Heroic don't have one of their own. And so it's a bit of an attempt at a bonus round here from Heroic. They only have 1 man over here towards B, but that man is Nico, and he's been hitting with the force of, 3 or 4 men over here, so I think that's fair enough right now. He's going to be entrusted with the entirety of this B bomb site. And I think quite critically to note, he's actually playing the connector. So Heroic is set up to kind of play retake over here towards B. Nico's going to recommit back into the site, and that is because they've freed up Stown. They were kind of trying to set up Borup and Tesses quite deep over here at the A site. So Stown was there early to offer up utility. Now he comes back, he rejoins Nico at B. They're going to retake this site and actually have a bit more presence in it now that they've set up the A side hold. And it's a good thing they set up this A bomb site, because that is looking like where this play is going to come through for North. Cadian dropping that smoke, but the problem is smokes actually, don't know if you know this, aren't walls, and they've walked right through it. Cadian is not going to be ready. Ooh, I like this from North. They realize, all right, we've hit a bit of a sneaky timing here, and so we're out through Ivy. No one's keeping an eye on it. No one's watching it. No one's even considering that this could be a possibility. Finally, Cadian's going to turn back around, but it's too late. MSL is already deep. MSL is already out. Testes has done a great job of dodging these players in the back line. He's able to put up 2, and he's able to keep Heroic in this round, but it's still going to be a very tricky... What? Oh, no, that's not how that was meant to happen. That's not how that was meant to go down. A bomb plant coming in for North. Not quite denied in time by Nico, but he's done a lot in terms of the damage. Cajun is pincered. 1 behind, 1 in front. Cajun B. Oh, almost. He lands a tag with the flick. Almost the 180, but not quite. Nico now reaching a 2-0 KD on the back of this retake. He puts up 2. And that means out of the 15 kills possible in these last 3 rounds, 9 of them have come from Nico, which is pretty incredible.
What a beast. I mean, yeah, that whole round is wild, right? Just the fact that MSL hits the timing, looking at the pop dog play, Borup smokes himself off, which is a really good call, and then he walks through it. What? MSL's holding. He should be dead. MSL runs out of ammo, switches weapon, dies. Borup gets traded, but he's got the crucial kill in that round that really puts Heroic in the 2-on-2 that they can close. Nico with a double, and boy, oh boy, Heroic just aren't stopping here. 6-12. 3 in a row in this CT side for Heroic. The pistol, the conversion, and the first rifle round. North go right back in for another. They've got all the guns here. have they got the result? Because right now they're running out of rounds, they're running out of opportunities to close this this map or even really get into the swing of things, because Heroic haven't even afforded them double digits. Testes is looking very good this game as well. He's had some important kills, gets a big double in there as North hit the A site. Like, if Testes doesn't kill both of those players, that round's probably North's anyway. So, you know, all comes down to that as well. Heroic, they've got the orb. North don't have that luxury, no bomb plant money, and so MSL is just armed with his rifle. Cadian taking his on the A bomb site, looking for picks early on. Stown, he was Ivy lurking most of the T side. He's going to be defending it on the CT half as well, smoking it off. Letting Cadian move into position, but not like he's going to have much of a say when the smoke is down. He can just hold for the boost and wait for the fade. Oh, this is cheeky. This is sneaky.
Yeah, this is gross. And if you're Christo, you know, you played Ivy a bunch, but you were not ready for that kind of play. Stown just decides, yeah, I'm kind of overweighting around. I almost wonder if it's because he heard like the pin get pulled on the nade and then just tries to jump peek in on the back of it. But even then, I'm being optimistic. It just felt like he was pretty keen to take that fight. And now this only leaves North with 3 players surviving. They're going to tiptoe their way into the B bomb site. However, you can tread as lightly as you want. There's still 2 players here. Borup only good for 1. And actually, North, they do get into the B bomb site. They're a man down, this Molly. AZ somehow wasn't getting tagged by it. He actually stays alive, and, well, only briefly before he's picked up. Cajun now, all alone, 1v3. All 3 of these players coming in from con side, and Cajun does break apart one of these players. He's able to isolate that fight there. Still Cadian and Testes yet to find, and that Molotov is going to hold him back. Oh dear, he's trying to make the run up to upper, but yeah, he doesn't win this, sadly. They've already got the defuse. 13 on the board for Heroic. Cajun not able to see it through in the 1v3, does at least stay alive, and you know, with the bomb already planted, he's going to get money from that round. He can now help redistribute the cash in this team.
It almost felt like Cajun didn't know he had a molly there. Like, you know, no smoke available for Heroic. Not that he knows that. Maybe he's trying to, you know, get a kill ramp and then go back to the molly for the one-on-one, but, you know, getting cut off by the util and then not getting to be able to use his get out of jail free card. That's a bit of a shame. Heroic, though, another rifle round to deal with on the other side, and a flash down Ivy to take control. Stown pushes through a Molotov. You won't see a thing. Gaze out and about. Cadian doesn't know. It's a free kill for Gaze. He's just going to smoke off Stown in the Ivy position as well. Wants nothing to do with it. Testes and Borup in the outer sight. Good for 1 apiece. Testes is still standing, though. He hasn't been dealt with inside of the pop dog, and smoking himself out to be a bit of a problem. Stown is hiding hell side as well. Nico's coming on that lone B rotation. It's a long route back to Old Bomb, but now we have a pretty good triple setup for Heroic on this outer site. With Stown still inside, they don't know, and he's dropped the purse. They know a man's main as well. Stan's got his number, and now it is just MSL giving away his position. Stown going above with a grenade. It will hit. MSL will too. He'll fight back, and the bomb getting played. 3 HP for MSL. No need to move. Wait for the tap. Stown's playing patient on top of the train, but he doesn't know where MSL's got to.
Yeah, MSL has disappeared, and now swinging out. Stown looking the wrong way. MSL with a stellar clutch to keep North in this one. Their first T-side round put up on the board here to give them a 7th, and it comes on the back of MSL answering the call, stepping up there in that clutch when they needed him the most. If that one didn't go in favor of North, I think this first map is over and done with. But now there's a chance they can get back into it. You can see the effect this has had. It's bought Heroic's money down into the ground. Cadian does have a Zeus in this round, so that's going to be exciting. Let's see what he's able to do with that. He's sat with it over here at the ramp. Cajun actually got dinked as well, trying to go down the pop dog. This is a little bit scary.
I love the Zeus though. I love it. You know, close towards ramp. You see like Robs play this with a Deagle, right? Because you can just 2-shot body spam with that gun. But Zeus, I mean, great at just getting a kill and grabbing a weapon unless you get traded, which is likely the result. Ivy pushed here for the pistols, and North will make quick work of it. You can see not even an issue for Christo and MSL combining for 2 apiece. Cadian's walked up a B, but he will find nothing but a deserted area. They're even holding him from here as well. If he goes any further, he's dead. Oh, I say that. Gage just left, so timing is everything, and Cadian's hit perfection. He's coming in on this T-Con flank. He might even be able to get a Zeus kill after all.
That's basically what we're playing for now. The Zeus kill. There's not really a chance that Cadian can save this round, and Gade is watching it. Oh dear, Cadian.
Oh, is he gonna go
run
for it?
And now? Figure out a way to Zeus quickly. He's the dude. Oh, Gade is coming after him. Cadian, you got to be a little bit faster. Ooh, Cade has decided against it, and Cadian gets here just in time. Cadian, what are you doing, you little gremlin? You little gremlin. What's the game plan with this Zeus there, my friend? This isn't it. That's not the one. And he does get taken care of. North, 8 on the board. AZ even retrieves the Zeus, and as a sign of disrespect, just shatters a window with it.
AZ let him down as well, right? He didn't shoot his legs when he had the chance. He waited till Cadian thinks it's safe and committed. That's a good way of getting that kill if you're playing at the back of Pop and someone's playing on the ladder. North, 8 to 13. They've been given a lifeline, an opportunity in this map. 2 rounds on the T side in a row, and they're only rounds to work with. Right now, Heroic can put a stop to it. They can find this, well, near map point. They can reset North. Down is set up with the AWP over Cadian in this round towards Ivy. Cadian has a shotgun right next to him, but if Stown dies, Cadian can pick it up, and that's basically the game plan. Resmoke on Ivy keeps Christo contained. Tessa's in the pop dog. The North haven't put too much focus on this as of late. They're just playing very passive. They know that Heroic are keen to get aggressive and try these flanks, so North playing safe is going to come to an end eventually, but you can see now Heroic are starting to move. Now they're starting to gain control of this round. Tessus has pushed T-Con with the help of his teammates, smoked off, and North, they don't know this. They've left A, they've gone towards B, they've got Christo on an Ivy Luck. This is very similar to how Heroic played their T-side with these B players and a solo Ivy player. Double upper setup for Heroic, though, could certainly catch North off guard.
Ooh, come on, Cadian. You weren't able to do anything with the Zeus, but this gun is like a full auto Zeus. So let's see what he's able to churn on up. MSLV Cadian, let's go. Who wins this one? And Cadian, let's bring it. 2 kills on the auto shotty. Christo out from Ivy does drop 1, and AZ dealt with up at B, but Cajun will trade, and it's back into this 2-on-2. They deal with Christo, and this leaves Cajun B in a 1v2. He was going to plant open, decides against it now, and I think that's because he loses Christo on this wrap round. So Cajun now just having to play for himself, having to play for the 1v2. They're both wrapping up close, but there's not the best spacing in the world on this. There's Down with the re-peek, and Cajun swinging a little wide there. Actually gets dropped by the AWP. There was a world in which Cajun was able to isolate that first fight and then duck away. Yeah. But luckily enough for Stown, the peak was pretty wide, and so the defuse comes in. It's
like a 2-for-1, right? In the same vein, Stown doesn't want to be close enough that he gets mowed down, right?
Yeah.
And him being far enough away makes Cadian forget or not consider the fact that there's a trade potential, right? Not think about a second player there because, oh, I've not been traded, it's clear. No, it's not. You've been traded. It's not clear. That's it. Heroic, they get it done. 14-8, and now 2 away from taking us to Vertigo. That's, for me, at least the map I'm excited for in this series mostly. Train, we know that's a dominant one. We know it's a good one for Heroic. It's a map North don't play. Vertigo, that's a big one. That's one that Heroic, are able to take G2 the distance on, one that North have looked very, very good on. And I think where this series really does get competitive, if Heroic can take it over North, then damn. But let's wait and see, Harry. Let's not assume. Right now, this game's still live, and MSL is trying to make it happen. He's dropped Cadian with the AWP early on. Stown's got an AWP. North are going to group B again with the bomb. This is just like so default what both teams are falling back into. We haven't seen like one fast yard rush with E-Box and sandwich smokes and just a quick A push. And since, Heroic have had like anti-ecos in the early 10 rounds. So yeah, it's been a lot of late B plays with Ivy Lurks, and that's really what we've got here from North again. With a man advantage, why change things? Tessus can flank Pop. That's the only danger of this round, and in fact, it's getting better and better for North by the second because Nico's left B and come towards Ivy. It might just be a save for Heroic as they realize the error of their ways. North are about to plant.
Yeah, and double AWP in the retake as well, right? Never ideal. Maybe if they deal with Christo, like if you get a 4-on-4 and you don't lose a man, you deal with the lurk, maybe you go for it, but yeah, they're not budging, they're not attempting it. And now Christo's position becomes even more valuable if he's able to do a bit of damage, and then that's great, because Heroic aren't even attempting this round. You know, if you're unfortunate enough to be down there, you never even got a chance to play this round out. You know, you were already surrendering essentially when that bomb plant came in, and then you get killed. You don't get a chance to play, you don't get a chance to save, and you don't carry that weapon into the next round. So 9 now on the board for North. These B plays working out. It wouldn't surprise me if we see North maybe stick one of these secondary orbs in the connector, playing rotate between either one of these sites, and then having like an anchor over towards B, maybe like put Nico inside of the site, right? Have some support available to him if needed. Because it can feel a little bit bitter if you're playing double AWP at A, kind of like what North were doing in the first half with MSL and Cage and B. You know, either the AWPs never get a chance to see anyone if the A hit doesn't come in, and if the bomb does go down B, you're going to find it very, very hard to retake. So in this round, North try and pick up the pace. They try and go fast out A, and Gade actually gets double naded out of the round. A nice way for Heroic to find them at advantage. It was no risk to them. And now they sit in this 5-on-4.
To jump on your point about rotation, I would love to see Cadian be playing this rotate role in the connector. I've seen him do that in past teams, and it's nice to not only have your AWPer but your in-game leader play that like fast con rotate, because then they can you know, get a full spectrum, a full picture of what's going on both sides, and still have impact with this weapon. So yeah, Cadian's been very focused on Ivy this game, but if you were to go towards connector, that would free up a lot of room on this A site. Either way, there's value to both sides. So he's AWPing Ivy, and he should have a kill here. North are moving in late, unless they flash his position. Christo is dead, and Cadian doesn't know the bomb is following, but that may not be a problem, because it's still a 5-on-3. He can smoke it off, he can cut MSL out of the short term, and Heroic can just group up. And actually stacked in it here. And the bomb is Ivy. This is based off of nothing for Heroic but a gamble, and to do with the fact that North have shown no players on that A site. They've also killed an Ivy lurk in the form of Christo. He's always been there on these B plays for North. So for Heroic, it's screaming a B play, but in reality, it's anything but.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary now as a result. The one thing that might help out is Borup is still in pop, so he might be able to save Cadian when AZ tries to come in on this wrap. And now the rotations have come through. Cadian has heard these flashes. He knows that something's going down at Ivy. He doesn't have an idea on specifics, and well, Stown, actually a master of dealing with this play, gets into the site, drops both the Ivy players, and AZ never even gets a chance to wrap from main. Oh goodness, AZ, he goes down after time, and this should be a very hard one for North to recover now. AZ at least had a bit of extra cash lying around. It's not the end of the world that he goes down after time. But with 15 on the board for Heroic, this one starting to feel like it could be a done deal. North, can they salvage this? They need 6 in a row. It's not going to be easy thus far. They've not really managed to accomplish much here over on this T side, and now they need to accomplish more than ever. And a man down. This isn't. I'm not building up the best comeback story here for North.
I think you're building up the reality, Harry. Right? This is a map that I think if North are going to lose map in the series, it would be this. They have a very good chance to win Vertigo. Of course, Heroic are going to be prepared on it, right? Like as Blair said, they let it slip in the veto. But you know, if North aren't feeling confident on Vertigo, then I have nothing else to say. You know, that's their map pick. That's where they should be finding success. Heroic right now are only 3 kills away from pushing us over the edge on their pick. And, well, that doesn't seem like it's going to be all too difficult. Tess says on Ivy. Crucial position here. That's where the bomb is coming from, and 2 players of North. He's gone above green. This is a good spot to play considering he's low. Can take a headshot angle. Gade, he's crept out. He's got a timing. He's got a gap, and no one's got any idea. Gade dropping the Ivy play. That opens up the play now for the bomb, but Cadian's shut it down. Trade is quick from AZ. Gade is still in the yard, but doesn't realize they're in main. He's considering it, but that is all it is, a consideration, and Bob has not given him the information that would mean Gade just hang around here forever. He's still just sitting sandwich side. The bomb's parted for him. No reason to move now, and AZ can start hunting for those other rotations, both through Con. AZ's hit the first bomb, gone, and gonna get Gade as well. It's just AZ in the site, 1-on-2 for the map. Heroic in a 2-on-1 retake. Great flash, and Stan gonna peek off the back of it. He's got the round, he's got the map. Heroic have got 16, and that is it. Locked in. Vertigo around the corner on the horizon. North's picking the series, and one that they've certainly made a mainstay of their map pool. So I don't know where this is going now. I'm really excited. I think this series is just getting more and more, important as the maps go on.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
And, with Heroic picking up trade, I think it does set us up for an exciting series there, Hugo. I'm not just, taking the mic. Like, Heroic are looking really good today. And, I want a competitive Vertigo. I think they showed us a lot of promise on that map the other day, just they weren't able to edge it over the line. I do think that with how they were kind of structuring their Vertigo, with how they were playing, I noticed some similarities between them and North. So I am actually really excited to see how this Vertigo matchup stacks up. Speaking of that, you're going to have to join us for it after a quick break, so stick around and don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey, Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Body's moving slow, spinning in the afterglow. Got it feeling so good. 'Cause this love is all night. This love is all right. This love is all night. This love is all right. Breathe the air just like a fire, we can't control it. See explosions in the sky. Move faster than the sun over the horizon. Chance it all to feel alive. Breathe the air just like a fire, we can't control it. See explosions in the sky. Move faster than the sun over the horizon. Chance it all to feel alive. Body's moving slow, spinning in the afterglow, dancing till the daylight. 'Cause this love is all night. This love is all right. This love is all night. This love is all right. Breathe the air just like a fire, we can't control it. See
12 rounds, ding ding. Sick and tired of the whole damn thing, yeah. Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling now. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep
Well, we do have the result of our first map, and of course, I'm going to accidentally refresh everything that I wasn't supposed to refresh, but I got it all figured out in the end. Sort of like Heroic, 16-9 on the first map of Train, going their way heavy-handedly, 9 rounds in the first half, and then they just weren't able to be stopped. If you look at the second half, 7-3 was how that one all kind of came together. And of course, for this one to come together, I have to be doing it with my co-host. That's going to be both Sudin and Christine, who are very, very opinionated about the matchup at hand. Now, Christine, I think now would be the time to open the floor with whatever controversial statements you may have to say.
Controversial? I don't know about controversial, because as you just saw in that last clip, Stan, I want to call him Staven.
Me too, right?
He's such a stud. And, you know, I feared that with Esatag's departure, Esatag was that consistent line for this Heroic squad. I thought that Staven might, you know, turtle up into his shell and not be able to show us his flair and his pizzazz, but he's just day by day getting better and better. And it seems like his confidence is growing, not only in himself, but even in his teammates. So it's allowing him to make plays just like that with the AWP, with the rifle, just taking risks, going for more and more plays. And we got to talk about Nico. His addition to this team has been instrumental. He's just getting multi-kill after multi-kill. His rifle work, it's incredible for the Heroic side right now.
Yeah, it's almost irrefutable, or I don't even know if that's a real word, but perhaps you could tell me if it is or not, Blay.
It is.
Oh, nice. Cool.
There we go. Yeah, I completely agree with Potter. Also want to add the fact that Tesla's had a lot of great rounds. And the cool thing on the T side, which is the hardest side on their map pick of this and Train, the kill spread was so good between all the 5 players. So everyone was getting killed on point. The trade game was really on point, and they knew what they were doing on the T side. Sure, North had a few hero moments on their T side later on in the second half, but it was not going to be enough. You have a 9-round lead going to the second half, and now you're going to be playing CT on Train. You're going to be winning that game 9 times out of 10, right? So I think it was pretty much expected that Heroic would win this pretty convincingly. I think they've managed to do so. Going to Vertigo, I kind of feel like North struggling a little bit. We saw a few moments from Christo Potter where he's still a little green, the player, right? Like he's playing towards the all-off area. He gets the opening pick and immediately tosses an MP9 away to pick up an AK-47, not expecting that Heroic are going to have a player ready to trade. And that's one thing Heroic was so good at, which was trading.
Christine, Vertigo, second map of the series. Get me some hot, spicy memes out there. What do you think? Does it end here?
You know, I'm looking straight at Gade. I think Gade and Vertigo, these two go hand in hand. And although Gade, he's not going to be at the top of the leaderboard, he's the entry. And I love the spacing that he provides for this north side of things. So if Gade is having a good game, especially towards that A ramp, he starts taking more risks. He starts bullying the A players. And so I think North, they really need Gade to step up his game and start going for those entries towards that A bomb site.
Yes, and speaking of entries, this is our exit. So perhaps we will get to watch the conclusion of the series now, or will we go to 3? We don't know. Vertigo is on the cards when we come back to the Dreamhack-Masters-Spring 2020, and that'll be just a few minutes. We're going to jump straight back into it with Harry and Hugo. We'll see you there.
So you can move to outer space, yeah. Cause what's a race without a chase, yeah. She don't worry about the money, no. She don't care about who you are. She just gives me good loving, yeah. So I keep her in my heart, yeah. And if we keep it in the moment, yeah. Hope you never go too far. If there's one thing I know, we can move slow and we can run down the clock, baby. I got time, yeah. 24 hours for you, yeah. And you're on my mind like all the time, yeah. I got 24 hours for you. Girl, you know that I just need 24 more. Stand up, baby, round of applause. Stand up like you're ready for war. Oh, girl, I think I need an encore. Girl, I just need 24 more. Stand up, baby,
have a good time, I fi drop it low. No need for rush now, come and take it slow. You can lead now, come and show the way. With it a jump up, party till late. Me see a jump up and inna the ear. Another jump up, we no have a key. Let go the day, come step inna the night. While I wine go till the morning light. La 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 la, moving right. Da 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 da, we so tight. La 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 la, feel the fire. Drop it till it gets slow. La 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 la, moving right. Da 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 da, we so tight. La 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 la, feel the fire. Drop it till it gets slow.
Drop, 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 drop to the beat. Drop, drop, drop to the beat. Drop, 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 drop to the beat. Drop, drop, drop to the beat. Drop, 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 drop to the beat. Drop, drop, drop to the beat. Drop, 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 drop to the beat. Drop it down low.
Welcome back between North and Heroic. We have Vertigo as our next map of this series. Heroic map up right now. They did take Train. It was their pick, and now North have had the choice of this one. We're getting up 50 floors. Harry, what are your thoughts? Does it end in 2?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think that Heroic, right, by letting this slip on through, by looking pretty good on it the other day, I think they could surprise us here, Hugo. I really do. I quite liked what we got to see from the Heroic squad, but we're going to have to wait and see. Well, we don't have to wait long. We've done the waiting. Now we have to do the seeing. Well, we can see those Betway odds, putting this one in favor of Heroic. The wonderful folks over at Betway may be inclined to agree with me on this one, Hugo. Heroic with a CT side start as well. Obviously, with it being North's map pick, it's their decision as to where they end up. Tess says, I like this idea, just waiting at short side. Now, they try and rotate back into B, but the early warning system of Stown is blared on off, and Nico putting up another. Leaves Cajun B and AZ in a 2-on-3. But if I've learned one thing about AZ in these pistol rounds, he's got a USP in hand, and he's not a man to be underestimated with this gun. He does put up one, but Borup in with the response. And it's Heroic finding themselves the pistol round here to begin this second map.
Certainly a strong start. I like the aggression as well, right? Like North try and throw a bit of an A fake. They send Cristo up quickly and then they commit towards B, but they weren't ready for the double setup, right? Stown dying and then Nico being on the stairs, getting away with another trade. Like that's a lot of players towards B that North were not prepared to see, and now it will just be down to the Glocks. Stown spinning around on the stairwell, making noise. And the run boost is in. He won't let them get away with it. Stown's so ready. He might have even heard them from the bottom of the stairs throw that player over the top. And shots midair will send them flying back down. Stown wants to be careful. He needs to stay alive. Borup's been killed by the Glock. Stown doesn't want to fall to the same fate. So a rotation in the form of Nico here to make some money with that UMP. If Stown doesn't steal the kills away, Nico will get one. But it's going to be a done round anyway. Heroic 2-0 up. Nice start. Worth noting, if we look at the numbers coming into this game, both of these teams have slightly better CT sides on Vertigo. For Heroic, they've only played 2 maps though, so we don't really have a sample size. But North, they've played plenty of games on this map. Worth noting as well, G2 also in this group, also teams that North played back at at Road to Rio. G2, they beat Heroic yesterday on this map, but North, they beat G2 on this map, so that's something to keep in mind here. Although, it's not always as clear cut as, this team beats this team, so that team is better than that team, It's like results change depending on maps, depending on days, depending on the series at hand and the importance of it. North know they need this map right now, because if not, they're going to fall short and get 2-0'd inside of this series. A late A execute, lots of B nades early, and a man advantage for North. They group up on this A site. There's only Tessa's here, but Nico is coming.
Yeah, that's the thing right here in this group. Astralis might be safe right now, but any one of these three teams can continue. So yeah, all the series have gotten that much more important as a result. Tessa's holding on to short side with this Famous, and Cage and B just sneaking down beneath him, but not for long. Tessa's double peeking in, however. There's another man offering himself up. Thankfully, Borup has kept this one even. At this point, North are wondering, like, how many more players are there in this clown car at short, man? Like, one comes out, then another, then a third. And then there was actually a fourth man back inside of the site that they're able to deal with as well. They walk into that heavy A stack, and they actually come out on top, which is a good look for North.
And as Bless said on the desk just a minute ago, you know, like something Heroic was so good at on train, and that's shown again here, is the trading. It's the ability to have good spacing and not let a kill go, you know, down without, you know, an instant response. And they do that on short there. They have 3 players. Like, Clown Car's a great metaphor, Harry. They just keep appearing. And North, they just keep killing. But right now, it's a mad advantage for KD and dropping K-Jun down on the A side of things. It's going to be a ladder walk. Oh, actually, no, it's a ladder kill rather, not on short. KD is going to get out of there with the AK, shuffling guns out of this round. Smart play, considering his team don't have weapons. So he's actually given an AK to Borup here, who only had a P250. Or a Deagle. That's a massive upgrade. And Nico's even pushed B as well. Christo may be considering it, but distraction is there in the form of Stown. And now a double flank coming through. North are trying to hit the A site. They're walking up to a triple setup. Everywhere they go is full of Danes. And not friendly Danes, not their teammates, no. Merely their enemies. AZ, Molly, it won't work. Actually, it does. Borup eventually gets cleaned up. It's a very late kill. AZ now in a clutch. He can't compete. It's down on the flank, and Heroic find a third. That's a really nice round for Heroic. Just all over the map, constantly pushing, getting in the way, not letting North do what they want to do, right? And that's crucial. We already saw from the pistol round that North's plan is to be a little bit annoying in this game, right? You know, throwing the bomb bottom B and running up A and then faking that site to hit B late. I mean, Heroic, they know the strat book. They don't want to fall for any of these shenanigans. And so 3-1 lead is certainly going to help. Pistols out for North, and somehow they find a kill with a Glock.
And a dink onto Stown as well. It's getting a little bit scary, but the flashes have come in from mid, and that leaves everyone pretty blind. Another Glock kill, but this is where they do run dry. 4 on the board for Heroic. This is already a nice little CT side start. Not sure how the Glocks get away with so much there in that round.
Not really.
Probably not helped by the fact that one of the players does fall down the ramp and, you know, kind of falls into the lion's den, as it were. North back in with rifles. There is an open Cadian's hand this round, and he's taking it over here towards ramp to go for an aggro peek. There's a lot of players on the other side for him to find. A double nade lineup here for short side. That's a neat little idea. But I heard typing, Hugo. I heard it. I heard it going on. And there is some typing going on in chat. This was caused by a TS crash. That's team speak.
The side of North.
For North. So they're just going to get that fixed.
I want to see that double nade. I want to see if it comes into any effect. One thing that to keep in mind.
Mate, I'm a little bit upset if I'm Heroic there, right?
Giving that away, right?
We throw our little double nade that I haven't seen thrown before out, and then you know doesn't find any damage. I mean, how much more frustrating would it have been if it had found damage?
Yeah.
And then
well, the round might not have restarted. That's the key. It depends on the damage comes, Harry. I think what's important to remember, and something Heroic are definitely going to be keeping in mind, probably the reason behind the nades is what North will do on this A site is they'll often send AZ, if he has a spawn, really quickly into short. He'll hide tarp. North will get smoked off a bottom ramp. They'll spam the smoke. They'll wait a good amount of 10-15 seconds until the CTs think, okay, North are trapped behind the smoke. And then they'll throw a pop flash, and AZ will come out of the short side and appear out of nowhere and kill the ramp players. Now, obviously, all of that is contingent on, Heroic not getting aggressive, Heroic not clearing him or smoking him. But, we saw that little trick that North ran 2 or 3 times against G2 off the back of AZ's spawn. He went there a lot, and he didn't always go out with a flash. Sometimes he just waited till his team joined him. But, knowing North had that in their repertoire, well, those grenades from Heroic, they land exactly where AZ sits. So I think that's Heroic trying to beat North at their own game, trying to disrupt the game plan. We'll see later if that comes into play and whether AZ goes into that position once more.
One of the teams that I don't know about you, but I've enjoyed watching on Vertigo recently was Windstrike from the CIS division.
Sure.
I kind of really liked on their CT side how aggressive they were at ramp. I wouldn't mind seeing if that's something that we could see replicated a bit more. Hugo, this is that strategy you were on about. Sure. However, AZ gets legged, and the nades did rain in over the top as well, but he wasn't found by him.
Yeah, because he got legged, he usually hides where Tessus is aiming, but below the sandbags on that grate. But because he was legged, he actually backed up all the way to avoid spam, to avoid grenades, and he doesn't die as a result. But now he knows those nades exist, Harry. If last round wasn't clear, now it certainly is. So he is going to be, I imagine, very careful in that position moving forward.
Oh, Tess says up on this boost. All it takes is for Gade to show a little too much, and he won't fare very well. Gives away his position with the spam, and that's going to entice them to hold this boost on even longer. Heroic don't know it, and it can feel pretty natural to just want to abandon this once it doesn't find anything for too long. Oh, that molly's going to force them out of position. Spam back in from Testes. Him and Gade go blow for blow, and Gade comes out far worse in that engagement. 2 players now low for this north side, and they're just bottlenecked at ramp. They've had this control now for a minute, and they still haven't budged. They still haven't found anything to go off of. Eventually, they're going to have to make a decision, and that decision comes in the form of this rotation back in underneath over here towards B, and that's where they're going to look to end up. Now, there's only one man here. Heroic, they've fully stacked the A site, and AZ is selling this well, but there's been like a moment where North have reconsidered, and now they realize B is clear. They started to rotate the bomb back away, but it does come in for the plant at B. Borup can't deny it, and it's become all too clear. It's a 5-on-5 retake. This is one of the weirdest rounds of CounterStrike I've seen in a while.
And Heroic don't know how low North are. Like, that's the key. There's so many tagged up players. Heroic can seriously win this round, even off of grenades. Ooh, MSL, he's climbed up though. North looking to take fights to push Heroic back, and that might just force a save straight up. 2 kills coming from Christo and MSL, and Heroic, no leg in this round. They've got to give it up, and that's all off of Borup's rotation, right? Cadian may get a kill on the exit, but that's of little value here to Heroic. Oh, that rotate, man. You hate to see it. Someone made the call. Someone called Borup over, and him leaving that B site loses Heroic that round in its entirety. Heroic were fully favored in terms of the health, in terms of the utility, the time, the positions. They had a quad A stack. Even if they just had one do B, just to give them a little bit more info, a little bit more time to rotate. Without that, you can see how they just get smoked out of the site, and they can't even fight.
Not to mention, that bomb went down with 6 seconds on the clock. There was even one player at B to have delayed the progress up through the ramp for literally a matter of moments, right? It would have been a very, very different round. But North are allowed to just run on in. They get full site control. They're pushed to CT. And so as a result, that bomb is just allowed to sprint up the entire way. Yeah, that's a bit of a heartbreaking one for Heroic, right? Because it felt like they'd done everything right. And then right at the end, one little misread, one mistake, and it cost them everything.
That's what Counter-Strike can be sometimes. Doesn't matter how well laid the plan is. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. And Heroic, they're looking to do their best to disrupt the plans of North in this round. Aggressive fights with Testes. He gets volleyed. He will respond on one of his own. And the spam again, back to Gade. He's got to be very careful. The value of playing this position nowadays with no longer it being wood and it being metal, obviously your wallbangs are going to do less, so are theirs. So you can feel freer to play in this position and not be susceptible to spam, not as much. Tesla's going to flash his way back in after the Molotov. They've already beat him to the punch. MSL is round the corner with the kill. Borup blinded in the sight. He can't do a thing.
Oh, when the mollies have rained in, Borup is trapped and left to fend for himself. Cadian trying to ring on in from CT, but he can't find a kill. Bomb's been planted and it's very exposed. It's very open here for ramp. There is a kill provided, at least in favor of Heroic. It's Nico's flank stepping up and delivering, and now the remaining 2 players for North, they're both trapped inside of the site. One of these, MSL, the other Christo, and these 2 were the ones who put this round on the board in the round prior for North. Can they do it again? Christo, 5 bullets in the AK, and he's making every bullet count, but not enough for Nico. And MSL dodging this man, migrating to the ramp. There's no time for Nico in this round. Wants to try and get his hands on an AWP to save, and there is one back here in CT. But that's the round going in favor of North once again. These A plays yielding results now in quite a big way.
Nice try from Nico. He did that a lot against G2 yesterday and won Heroic some crucial rounds off of these flanks, right? Pushing B or coming down on the ladder in middle and just getting up ramp silently, appearing right when North are looking to execute onto the site or just focus on fighting CT players. A roundup still are Heroic, but money is down, not quite out. Nico is setting up his teammate in middle. What's this setup here? We got a two-man peek for Heroic. That's it. I think it's Tessus and Nico there, so see if that has any effect later on. There is no one going mid right now, but Christo's climbing up the stairs, and KD's got a sight towards A. Deep Molotov is a good response from North to deal with that close smoke. It lets them cross towards short side, and now KD needs to vacate this position, because again, at any point, North could appear through the top. Doesn't want that to happen. Here's that double setup. Nico swings off a Tessus in contact, but he only gets one each. The trades are good, and mid has been controlled by North. They now can look elsewhere. They know Heroic are going to be scared about that position for the rest of the round after that double peak. Cadian even starting to clear out the A site as well. AZ's going to get aggressive, and it will not work out. Heroic, man up. Oh, Cadian's looked away, and MSL found the kill. That's perfect timing. It's given a plant to North, and now a 2-on-2 retake with Stown and Borup.
One man coming in on this lower rotation, the other Stown over towards elevators. Now Nico, when he was on this flank, was able to accomplish a lot. Is Borup going to fare any better? He's caught a good timing up through ramp, but he has dealt with Cage and B. MSL is once again left to try and clutch this round, but he's been good for these in the past. He plays around the smokes, and he does deal with the first man. Borup trades, and he's got a kit. Defuse comes on in. And it's a heroic round.
There's a kit on his teammate, though.
Yeah, there's a kit right next to him. It's close. Oh, just about. Just about.
That is scary. I was going to say, you know, his teammate had the kit on the site. Like, you know, risking that 10-second was a little scary, but he obviously knew the timing. He knew he had it.
Heroic, like, you know, making us sweat with the defuses.
Definitely. They, you know, they did yesterday for sure. Ooh. Scary stuff, but a 5th round taken for Heroic, and even a pause coming right off the back of a 1 round. They know North still have money and will have a game plan moving forward, and so Heroic want to put a stop to it as soon as they can. That's 3 pauses for Heroic in the opening 10 rounds of this game. That's quite a lot of pauses, Harry. They're only going to have 1 left, so not going to be easy for Heroic if this game goes the distance, if it goes to a long one. And with how North are certainly good on this map, I would imagine that will be the case. So Heroic might come to regret these early pauses, but you may as well use them, right, while you got them. North armed up. 3 Galils. 4 Galils. Not a good buy at all. It's just going to be the hero AK on MSL, but I wouldn't want it many other ways. Nico spamming their position that AZ often harbors, but he hasn't been there all game, not since that grenade round. Cadian pushed up on short as well. Does he want to take a wide fight down ramp into A? No, he's just going to hang around for the jump peak. North defaulting with 2 in middle as well, starting to take control, and the bombs here also. Very passive setup from Heroic, just down spotting this from the construction area. He's going to fall off, give them the control, can always smoke it off. Nico's here as well. Cadian's dropped AZ down ramp. There is 1 more A player there, with the exception of the rest of North and middle. MSL's been dealt with, and now it is just this mid take for North. They can go anywhere they want.
Ooh, Nico lining up a double over in mid, and it's all fallen onto Gade, and Gade falls shortly thereafter. 6 on the board for Heroic. They find a very important round here. Resetting the North money, bringing them down to nothing. And Cadian with a couple of choice shots down through ramp, helped out by Tessa, has turned the tide of battle early on. So now, with no money, not much hope in this round. Heroic might be about to build upon this lead even further. 7 stands loaded in the chamber, ready to go. North. Best weapon in this round is a Deagle on AZ. Deep smoke in B. They're waiting on the other side of it. They might look to explode through and try and find Borup early on. With these pistols, they've been pretty good at dealing with Borup over here towards B. And he will decide to back on out of the close angle down towards main. fan of that. Doesn't need to be risking it all up close and personal here down in the B bomb site. They are grouped up. They are ready to go. If he hangs around to try and drop this smoke, Borup could be in for a world of hurt. He knows it. He just backs out at the first sign of trouble. Responds with his smoke onto ramp, calls for a preemptive rotation, and even spams AZ down. That nade's found more chip damage. Yeah, Borup's kind of dodged any threat of much being done in this round by the north side.
Still want to go through into the meat grinder though. Borup ready and waiting. There's the Molotov. Flashes follow behind Heroic. They can just take 3 fights without having to worry. Oh, it gets a bit dicey, but Borup will clean it up with a 3-piece in the round. Heroic takes 7. And yeah, this is a great CT side. Like, you know, North aren't doing a whole lot right now, but what we do find in these domestic matchups, in these games when we have like very familiar teams, or teams, sorry, that are familiar with each other and their playstyle, is that sometimes the natural side of CS goes out the window and like T maps becomes CT maps and vice versa, and that actually repeats on both halves. But, you know, I don't know that, right? We don't know whether Heroic are going to be struggling on the T side the same way North are. So right now, North need to speed things up and pick up a round, but Nico does not want to let that happen. He's so good at forcing these early fights on ramp, and Gade able to trade, able to get 1, but it's not enough. Heroic just have wave after wave of defense on this A site. 4 players at one point. Now 3 after they've lost 1, but that jump is going to end MSL's life. Cadian's posted, and he might have more coming down the chamber as well. There's Christo, Cajun, last out, will get tagged, but gets the kill. Keeps North in this round, but only by the skin of his teeth in a 1-on-3. Now, full util, a 1-on-3 and loads of time with the bomb. This is a clutch set up perfectly for Cajun. Can he do it? He found the first.
Yeah, it actually doesn't feel impossible. It's Borup and Stown in a similar setup to when we've seen these guys in 2-on-1s prior. Normally it's MSL finding themselves in these kind of clutch roles, but this time it's Cajun entrusted with the clutch. He will find Stown through the wall. Now Borup has been coming in on a wrap this entire time, but it's been pretty slow. He's been sneaking in and was early on holding for a potential B flank. Now he knows that's not the case, but here's the problem. Cajun has the read. He's dealt with Borup on these wraps before. And so he's more than aware that this is a possibility. Cajun B on for a stellar clutch here. Borup going to smoke the bomb, taps it. That's going to bake the peek out from Cajun, but Borup backing up into his crosshair. Actually, they just missed each other. Bit of damage exchange through the smoke, and Borup dropping a nade. Even more damage onto Cajun. He gets the kill, and it's going to be very, very close, but I think he's got it just about. It's 8 on the board for Heroic. Borup narrowly winning that 1v1. A really nice try from Cajun B, but Borup, man, he was in full control.
You definitely got to give a shout out to Cajun there. Like, not only making that round really, really profitable for North in terms of, you know, getting a bomb plant, getting 3 kills on Heroic, but I love the one-on-one post bomb, right? He plants for ramp, he plants for short, he realizes Borup's on the flank, and then he plays a position where he can't stop the bomb from getting defused. That looks dangerous, but, you know, he's getting in the head of Borup. Borup doesn't have that smoke there. Cajun probably just wins the round because there's no way that Borup gets out of the site in time. Now it's just a fast play with Tech 9s, and, well, these are not the best guns for North. Inconsistent at the best of times. Borup is going to be able to drop a couple. And actually, well, maybe they'll get stolen away from underneath him. 2 at the end of things. Heroic on 9. This is an excellent game, but it's certainly feeling like North have not shown up in any capacity.
Man, this is a little bit scary, because I tell you what, I felt like Heroic are playing at a really good level right now as well, because you think about this G2 game yesterday, right, when they played on Vertigo. Heroic managed 6 rounds on the CT half. They then ended up losing the pistol in the second, and they went 13-6 down. But if you remember, they pulled that all the way back, and only just lost out, right? Their T side was stellar. So the problems might be just beginning here for North. One thing I will say is like a bit of a caveat for North is that their CT sides on Vertigo, I think, are probably one of the best out of many professional teams on this map.
But the issue is at this point, if Heroic keep building and get double digits and take, you know, 11-4, 12-3, North aren't going to have a CT side to run. I think about how good MSL is with the AWP. If you get 12-3'd, you don't get the AWP. You don't get a chance to run that weapon. So North need rounds. They need a buffer on the T side, and this has to be it. But Heroic have had all these little gimmicks, all these little boosts, and they haven't even shown North most of these. This boost has been done 3 times this game. It's yet to be seen by North. It's yet to get a kill for Heroic. So finally, this could be the time. But again, a Molotov. North methodical to death. they will actually lose a man in the process as well. 80 getting picked up by the AWP. I like the fact that North are playing safe, playing methodical, but it's coming down to the end of the rounds, and that's where Heroic are coming out on top.
And I feel like North, for a team that we like watching on this map so much, it does feel like sometimes they get stuck in this like rut of just going back to the A site over and over again. When we know that they have so much depth on Vertigo. Now a man down, they're looking to put this back into a 4-on-4. Cadian, though, is holding for this push, and the molly forces MSL into his crosshair. Nice utility work to lock in that kill. Now, a wall of smokes has come in at the site, and it allows North to push up behind it, but they're sharing this bomb site. This is shared accommodation, and Testes is the least kind of landlords. He shuts it all down, along with Cadian and Nico. And Heroic, 10 on the board. The bomb plant denied for North. And this is looking like it could have 2-0 written all over it, Hugo, with Heroic pulling it off right now. A tactical pause called in for the North side. They're first in this T half of play, and it's 14 rounds deep with only 3 rounds to their name.
Yeah, we are. You mentioned that, Harry, and I think it's a great point. We have seen a lot of teams when they are typically good Vertigo teams. G2 did this, for example, and they're having a rough game. They're having a game on the T side where things aren't working. You're getting shut out of the round. You're losing clutches. Things aren't perfect, and they just default back into A round after round after round to no avail, to no success, to no progress from some of these previous rounds. And that's what lost G2 a game in RTR as well. I can't remember which one, but yeah, it's happening to North right now on the T side. They've had a lot of A hits. They're going to go back to it as well. You can see Christo already lining up that short smoke. We haven't seen any... Think of the pistol. Think of the pistol. North faked A and went B. It worked wonderfully. Why have we not had anything like that since that point? Like, in terms of forcing rotations, they've done a good job. The only time North have felt good is when they forced rotations, when they played the mind games with Heroic. If you're going down to head-to-head fights or smoke spams or A executes, Heroic are winning every single time. So North, you know, they're running out of chances, but I would love to see in these last couple of rounds an attempt at the A fake and to hit B or even some mid control with heavy numbers. Obviously, that's been something North have attempted and been shut out by this AWP numerous times. Cadian is here once again, and he has the same in mind, dropping Cajun, no trade for North. They are hitting B with that one lurk in middle, and they've got to go fast as well. Christo leading the charge with the Galil, and instantly removed by Bomb. The flashes are good. Heroic lose a man, but they're still up in a 4-on-2, and Gade with the bomb is on 20 health. If he dies, this round is done. That's seeming more than likely. AZ has come to join him with a flashbang, but it misses, and Gade will get grenaded. AZ alone, they know where he is, and this should be Heroic on 11.
Ooh, this is grueling for North right now. 11, as you say, Hugo, appearing on that tally for the Heroic squad. And this is a very valiant effort from the Heroic boys to try and get this one done in 2. And things are really looking good for that to happen. One of the other things I think that's so important on Vertigo, right? We talk about how, you know, if North got 12-3'd, which looks like it could happen here in this game, it might not feel like they really get to play this CT side. But I think even if they find the pistol, right, one of the things you really need on Vertigo is like time to make adjustments. For like a few rounds, you might get caught off guard by these fast plays. And you kind of need that buffer to safeguard yourself. Now, in this round, they have picked up a man advantage, and they're really pressuring this aggressive ramp hold. They're looking to punish Heroic for going aggro in round 15. And they still sit with a man advantage, even with Cadian recuperating some of these sunk costs over towards short side. It's still leaning in the advantage of North. Cadian's actually getting aggressive. He might catch a timing here. Gade up on top of the cinder blocks, deals with Borup, who runs on in to his demise. North with a shot at putting up a 4th on the board before this half draws to a close.
Yeah, Re-smokes are going to come in, and North look like they will fully commit here with the execute. The bomb is in tow. Grenades will go, and Cajun's going to lead the charge, pushing the AWP of Cadian back. He's smoked off, and spam is dangerous because Cadian can just get shot through. He's down to 30. Frustrated that he can't hit anything through this smoke, but sometimes he's got to let it go, and this round might be one of them. Does Stan want the AWP? Cadian's going to take the rifles down, not low by any regard, just feeling it, and he's going to have a go in this retake. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Heroic going to start to move. Cadian first point of contact here as he looks into the site, but look at how passive North are playing. They're not getting any contacts. Down, dropped by the sandbags player of Cajun, and Cadian, he's just a second away from death himself. Even if he gets a kill, it won't matter. North have done it. 4 rounds at the end of the half. A bit of a recovery on the T side, but certainly not the T-Hars we're used to seeing from North. Have they got it in them to bounce back, or will this be a 2-0 for Heroic? You'll have to wait and see. Join us after the break for the rest of this series.
Out with me, 'cause you know I believe we can fly where the eagles go to be free. We can step out tonight on the air that we breathe. We can fly where the eagles go to be free. Wasn't looking for love tonight. Wasn't looking for love tonight.
Well, Heroic, they're leading the way by example right now. 11-4 up here in the second map after already being 1-0 up in this series. And those Betway odds that just came in, 1.01 to 9. They are massively in favor of Heroic right now, and justifiably so. That Nade's found a lot of early damage, however. And the first kill in the pistol going the way of North, but the victory is short-lived. Gade toppled at the B-bomb site. And AZ now, the only man that stands between Heroic and getting this bomb down. He falls MSL on the rotation. The bomb's already been planted, and MSL now at a 1v2 does have a kit to work with, but that means he's lacking the armor here. Aim punch going to play into this round for him. The smoke down, wasting even more time off the clock, and nothing getting offered up to MSL. There's a crossfire set up. They know where he is. They've got his name. They've got his number. MSL swinging wide, and to no avail. Pistol round found for Heroic, and this is a very grim scenario to be in if you are North. 12-4 down, pissed around going the way of your opponents, having to eco here, or maybe force by, right? But whatever the decision is, you're not feeling good about it.
No, and this is a matchup that North really wanted to be competitive in, especially in a map like Vertigo. This is something that, again, Blair and Potter talked about on the desk. They said that the fact that this map came through, the fact that Heroic let it slip, meant that they probably had something up their sleeve. And, well, 12-4, maybe the scoreline speaks for itself. That's certainly looking like the case. North right now looking like they're going to lose this series, and that would you agree, Harry? I don't know, we're not the be-all and end-all, but let's have this conversation on this eco. Would that put Heroic as the second best Danish team? Obviously Mad Lions in the mix here, looking good recently. Copenhagen Flames, certainly a talking point. We saw them in the road to Rio make a bit of a play there. And so, you know, there is certainly a lot of talent, but Heroic right now, this is more than dominant. This eco, however, is getting out of control. USP is finding 2 kills in B. Sound does trade in middle. 3-on-4 in favor of North, and 1 gun picked up. That's all they've got to play with right now. They're going to throw a full rotation the way of A, but Cadian has already cleaned up this site. He's already here, killing Cajun. 3-on-3. Heroic will be able to plant the bomb, and that's where things get ultimately very difficult for North.
Oh, Cadian removing the man in CT and dodging a lot of the danger in this round. Now leaves it all onto AZ. And with this mid lurk still coming in from Stown, he runs the risk of just getting blindsided from elevators. Missed shots from Stown, but AZ not able to recover in time. 13 on the board for Heroic, and now a initial buy on through for the North side. Weapons out in full force now for North, and one last attempt to keep the dream alive in this series. Heroic trying to settle it all with the B play, and North, they stack 3 over towards A early on. They rotate them away, and that's because Christo hasn't seen anything at ramp on his peak. They're already aware that this is likely a B play, but Nico deep in the site gets away with a lot of damage. Not a kill on the back of it, though. The molly's raining in, and that's going to trap a man. AZ, ooh, he's stuck. He gets burnt down to 21 points of health. Trapped out on a limb here. Both these players low, and the bomb ticking away. North gonna have to try and retake this site. They deal with Cadian through the smoke. That's going to help out massively. So they've got themselves quite the advantage. There is still Stown waiting to come in on a mid lurk. It all depends on how much time Testes and Stown can buy, or borrow rather, at the B bomb site. And Testes with 3. Now the flank comes in from Stown, and he's removed another. Cajun B left in the 1v2, trying to deny 14 to Heroic, and he can't get it done. He's got to get away. He's got to run for the hills, but it's 14 on the board for Cadian. And his ragtag squad of boys, 14 to their name, just 2 away from taking this series over North in a dominant 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, extremely dominant. It's 16-4 on North's map pick. That's likely here. That's looking possible for Heroic, even with the save from Cajun. So that's yeah, not the game that North showed up today wanting, and this is really going to shake up the group as well, right? 3 Danish teams in one group. Astralis 2-0 at the top. G2, the French boys, stuck in between the Danes. And Heroic 0-2. This is at least going to put their first victory in the mid. Oh dear, messy stuff. Christo getting tagged. He's going to get away. Oh my god, he's hanging around. And yeah, Christo, sorry buddy, you deserved that one. Taking the second shot, giving away his position, and Cadian takes him down despite being on 5. 14-4 and 4-on-3. Heroic head towards B. Or do they?
Yeah, they make a lot of noise in this rotation.
Oh, no.
They've slowed right down. MSL's tried to go aggressive down here at ramp, but MSL's thinking, I'm coming in on a big lurk. This is the... Oh, no. Tessa's out at ramp, and he was holding for it. It's a bait and switch from Heroic. They make noise on the rotation to B. They force a... well, they don't force, but they, like, encourage a flank from someone on North, right? They tempt them in. They say, oh, you hear us going to B. You want to come get the information. They wait patiently for it, and with so much time left, right, they can just afford to wait all day. Now they get the information that Gade's at B, and they just immediately execute into the A site. I absolutely love the way that Heroic are approaching this map. It feels like we've already seen more from them on this T side than we got to see from North. And that's the sad thing. Like, I feel like North have such a deep strat book on this map, but it was just endless A takes from this squad. Heroic doing a great job of just giving away the information that they kind of want North to hear. And that is what a lot of Vertigo is just deciding what info you're going to give to your opponents and how you're going to use that.
I feel like Fury could be a great team for teams that constantly bash A on the T side of this map. I feel like watching Fury would be a great example of knowing how to switch things up. They're so good at like taking B quick or going for these really fast mid splits where they cover it with utility and chase down the construction. Right now, North, well, stuck on the CT side, being delivered a bit of a beating and not having much to say about it. 15 rounds to Heroic. This is it, pushing them over the line. One more will be a 2-0 in this series for Heroic. And to think the train was actually competitive as well, or at least more so. 9 rounds for North there, and there's nothing like it here. Once this little setup is spawned, KD is just looking from an off angle, not quite going for the run boost. North tried it though, and Heroic didn't, so who wins there? Still Heroic, because they stopped the run boost midair. What have North even got in this round? No kit for the retake. Not even an M4. 4 FAMASs and an MP9 on utility here. Until towards mid for Heroic. They're walking into a bit of a setup though.
Yeah, it's a little double elevation peak over here in mid. One player playing high, the other playing low. And this is a very, very tricky situation to peek into if you're Heroic. However, if you peek it like that and you just eliminate Cajun, you spot him in the corner, you somehow isolate that engagement into 2 separate 1v1s, then suddenly it's nowhere near as threatening. And now, with mid control being taken, once again, they try and tempt North with the idea of coming in on a flank. Look at Christo. He's gone all the way down towards the bottom of ramp. He's holding in this corner, and they're going to check it. Sure, he gets one, but this is where the trade should come in. And Christo gets dropped, trying to remove that, trying to drop that smoke down towards the bottom of ramp.
And right there is, again, something Blair mentioned on the desk as a bit of a newbie to this level for Christo. He had situations like that on train where he would get caught out and not be expecting his opponents to trade him, thinking he has a chance to drop a grenade or swap weapons. It's just not available, and you're going to get punished at this level. Right now, Heroic are at such a pivotal point and only 1 kill away from making this a reality. It's just easy. Not going to happen. He finds a couple, but that's going to be it. Heroic 2-0 the series. They take it away from North on their map pick in a dominant affair. 16-4 on Vertigo. Heroic, they've only got a couple maps played on this map, but I think it's going to become a mainstay of their pool at this rate if things continue in the way that we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of questioning, like with Heroic letting it through the pick bad stage, did they have something prepared? Did they have something up their sleeve? And yeah, I mean, I think Vertigo's starting to look like a great map for this squad. It really is. And I think that's one of the benefits they have to sit on, right, is having like a bit of an unknown entity in terms of the map pool. What have they been working on? What have they been putting the effort into? It's all showing up here. They just 2-0'd the North boys. So Heroic looking good. And that's this series done. It's dusted. It's quick. It's all over, Hugo. It's a 2-0. Heroic take it. So join us after a quick break. The analyst desk going to be breaking that one down. Almost nailed it. And then we got G2 Astralis later today. Ooh. Stick around.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive. Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
And they actually close this out. Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
my bones, and I don't wanna let it go. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na.
Well, we have a winner, and I can guarantee you that it's not North. In fact, North are going to be feeling this one for quite some time. The Dreamhack-masters-spring 2020 carries on right here, live online and brought to you direct. Now, this was a best of 3. It did go by pretty fast, however, so that's going to leave a considerable gap between us and the next game, but we are going to spoil you with some interviews here on our side, both winners and losers, as far as I'm told. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and bring in Christine Potterchi and, of course, Sudan Wagyu Beef Bled. Now, we're going to bring them in right now and talk a little bit about their whole lives and, moreover, what they think about the tournament life of North. What happened?
It's over. It's end of the road. On the bright side, they get to enjoy the break, which I think they desperately need. They seem to be mentally, I don't know, man. It's so many things going wrong here, and it's very clear to me that this was I felt this was even more one-sided than yesterday's dropping against Astralis, because this is Heroic, right? And Heroic came all guns a-blazing. They had a game plan in mind, and I really feel, Potter, that that little feeling I had that it baited North into going for the Vertigo pick. I really feel that was a game plan, and they just got completely schooled. The T-side fell flat. A couple of heroic moments here and there, ironically coming in from the side of North, but apart from that, it was just...
Yes, just nothing overall, and it's kind of flat, albeit. And Christine, I look at you here and I say, are you the Oracle? Just tell us. Did you know beforehand?
I did know beforehand, yes. So I guess that makes me the Oracle. No, but it was clear once again yesterday that Heroic were very practiced on this map. They had a lot of good ideas. The executes just fell short. But today is a whole different story. And, I really appreciate the approach coming out of Heroic on their CT side of things. Most of the time on Vertigo right now, all the resources go towards that A ramp, all the utility, all the manpower, and you just generally have one player kind of spotting towards that B, because the attackers generally just don't even go B anyways. But this time around, Heroic, they put a lot of resources actually towards that B in the beginning of the first half to just close the doors on B and let North know, you know what, even if you want to tease us with this B. It's not happening. This bomb site is closed down for business, and they absolutely did just that. So I like the different sort of approach coming out of Heroic, and I love all the ideas coming out of this Heroic side.
Yeah, and that would make sense. Of course, we should be getting an interview here any time now. But with that said, of course, this makes North go a little bit further south than they probably would have liked to adventure. In fact, they're out, but we do have to give commiserations, and we do have to say, thank you for participating within the Dreamhack-masters-spring 2020. It's been quite the short run, but it's been a good run nonetheless. They've been very... how would I say this? They've participated in just about everything we've asked them to in terms of providing team cams and in terms of providing interviews. So I just want to get out ahead of that and say thank you for them doing just that. Now, if we can move swiftly along, I actually see that a Borup is around, but I'm not entirely sure that he's ready. So I guess on that notion, Mr. Wagyu Beef, what would you like to say about this Heroics out? Sorry, man, we're going to have to hold that for just 1 second. There is a ringer. There is a doorbell. Come on in. Ah, there he is. Borup. Hello, my friend. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you in our server.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Hello.
Nope. Can't hear him.
Nope. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask a question to Bleh while they figure this out. Now, Bleh, answer it as best as you could the way you think Borup would answer it. Why was it easy to beat North today?
Oh, I can hear him.
Oh, you hear me now? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course.
Saved. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, now really get him off the hanger. Anyway, Borup, what's up, dude? Congratulations. You guys get to push forward a little bit further. What were you anticipating in today's game against North?
I think we all knew we were going to win at some point. We didn't think it would be this one-sided, to be fair. But we had a nice game plan on both maps, especially on Vertigo. We knew how to get around the map, slow the time down, because they usually just play around the ramp area and do different sets. They just throw a lot of nades, and yeah, we get the B control, so we could hold them back on A with the utility and just stack around the A, because they don't push B back late in the round either way. So we had a nice game plan on both maps.
Borup, I'm so curious as to get a good idea of what this recovery process has been like for you and the squad, because we know how up and down it's been for the past couple of months, losing your players, losing your org, then coming back. How have you guys bounced back so strongly? Because when I look at you individually, this looks like a better Heroic than the previous versions. How has that happened?
I think the team chemistry is so much better at the moment. The old team we're running out of energy. We're just running around in the same old things, same old players, and now we got some fresh blood in Tesis, and Nico is an amazing player as well. And yeah, we got some fresh blood and everybody's working hard. And then we got Hunden, of course. So
yes, God Hunden. We know about him. Sudin, what do we think about this?
I actually have a question for you guys. When you did not ban Vertigo, which I thought you probably might ban out, considering you haven't played it that often, were you expecting North to pick into that, and was it kind of like a trap you laid for them?
Yeah, we expected to pick into it. Because they've been playing pretty good on it, even with Cap and Crystal for that matter. So yeah, we were ready for them picking Vertigo against us. We pretty knew what was going on the whole veto and the game.
So I guess I want to leave you on this notion. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about who is the best in Denmark, or Daneland, as I called it earlier. I hope that wasn't offensive. I wasn't really trying to offend anybody. But, who's the best in Denmark? Okay, so we put a Strauss over here, and then there's this kind of little battle going on. There's Heroic, there's some North, there's some Mad Lions. In your mind, where do you put where do you put your team of Heroic in terms of that hierarchy?
I think we have the potential to be a solid number 2, but we haven't proved anything, and hopefully we will. But Mad Lions is for sure number 2 at the moment. They're doing great with the new player, and yeah, it looks like a solid team. So we have to take them off the second place and prove our power.
Yeah, and I think you're onto something right there. Speaking of onto something, we need to move on. So thank you for your time, Borup. I do appreciate it, and again, congratulations on your victory here.
Thanks.
Boom. And that's the end of Borup. Never to be seen again. Kind of like North within this tournament. Again, thank you to them for participating in our reindeer games, but for what it's worth, they're gone. They're out. Let's talk about the future of North, and I want to start with you, Christine.
Oh man, the future of North. I think we have to keep in mind, once again, Christel, a new player coming in, just inexperienced player coming into this roster. He had a lot on his plate. There was a lot of expectations coming out of him, and certainly he didn't live up to those, but once again, that's another expectation that I had coming in, just because North have so many problems that they have to kind of tackle, that just bringing in a fresh new fifth is not going to solve them all in one day.
And, you know, weirdly enough, we hear from Borup about that. We hear about breathing life into a lineup. And if you look at the lineup that is North right now, they're not having a great go at it. And there's a lot of names that have been around for some time. Now, is this something that perhaps North could apply to themselves, Sudin?
I'm going to play a little bit of a devil's advocate here and say that they are in a rough spot, mainly because Kirby is not, it's not a replacement. It's not a permanent replacement, right? And from what I've seen of Christo, he's a little too new to really belong to this scene right now at this particular level. Maybe down the line, he's going to get better. But right now, you can clearly see individually, he's not there yet. And definitely not at the level of a Kirby. Now, given what they have to work with, it's quite impressive. You know, they had to play the Road to Rio with Jumpy. They actually put up a pretty decent showing, considering that they had to play with a coach, even beating G2. And then now here they put up a fight here and there. Sure, they lost a couple of close games. I think the first game was they won the first game against G2, in fact, which is a very good showing if you think about it. Then they got destroyed in the next two games. Fair enough, you got to give them that. But now it's more like, where do they go from here? I don't know. They need to wait for Kirby to come back. They're obviously waiting for that. Or are they gonna make this like an Astralis sort of a setup where they have a proper sixth player, and then later on Kirby comes in slots maybe a gate out, may not necessarily be the new player, right? That could be the potential future plan. But I think right now I think they need a breather. They've been at a handicapped stage for like 3 weeks now, playing with Jumpy and then playing with Kristoff. Probably need to just go back to the drawing board. I wouldn't be too harsh with them, considering that they do have a very fresh stand-in. And, you know, they have been on a downturn, and mentally it can get exhausting. It can be frustrating. So, yeah, I'm not going to be too harsh as Christine likes to be, because she can be a little mean to people. I don't know.
I like that. Christine. I like the fire inside of you, Christine, and I want you to light it up right here, right now. And I'm pretty sure that Blair already nailed some of the best memes. But, of course, for us to consider kind of what is going on within the North camp, you have to look at it and be a little abrasive. You have to say, okay, tactically this isn't working. Christine, what direction do you head in?
Man, that's such a tough one, you know, and again, I don't want to bag on them too harshly. We have to remember they just won DreamHack Open Seville a few months ago in December 2019.
Half a year ago. Almost half a year.
Almost half a year ago. We've had quite an up and down 2020. There's been a lot of